Yo guys, Shadow here, and a little preamble to this video because I think I need to say this in fairness before you watch this. This piece of software actually uses a certain Windows functionality called the Windows Dictation Recognizer, which is a Windows own like voice assistant, voice recognition system, and because of my special configuration of my Windows, I can actually not, or I didn't get this to work for the video, but I now know that it would technically work with that. I will try to figure out a workaround for this video. It didn't work, so just keep that in mind if you configure your Windows properly, or rather if you don't use a Swiss German/Swiss German Windows configuration, you will not have a problem with that. Also, it should work with different languages as well, technically, this piece of software that you're about to see, because it uses a Windows function that should work with different languages. So just keep that in mind. Whenever I say I don't know why it works in the following video, it is because of that Windows Dictation Recognizer function. So, without further ado, here comes the video. Yo guys, what's up? Shadow here and welcome to VR Sunday. Today we're looking at something special, a little bit different than normal. Today we're looking at something called Virtual Presenter Pro, which I would deem more as a tool than a game. So that's why it's a little bit a divergence from our normal concept, I would say, because normally we do look at games and such on this channel, but I thought this would be maybe an interesting thing to play today. Also, I think I'm not in the in the window right now. Hold on, because I cannot teleport around. Why can I not teleport around? Hold on, I need to restart this real quick. We'll get on to what this is exactly in a moment. Give me a second. Ah, there we go. Now I can teleport around. Okay, so what this is essentially, or what is supposed to be, is a piece of software that helps you with, well, presentation. You know, I think pretty much everybody once in their life at least had to do a presentation in front of people about a topic maybe they liked or maybe you didn't like at all. And it's a difficult thing to do if you're not used to speaking in front of people. And, you know, you can practice in front of a mirror or whatever, but, you know, it's not the same. So I thought, hey, maybe this is an interesting tool to help in these kind of situations. And I had a little bit problem with it so far. Not quite sure, maybe there needs to be a little bit something done with this here, but I will show you the ropes, how this is supposed to work. Okay, so please select an environment card and place it in the slot at the door to your left. So, which is, to this left. Okay, I wanted to say the thing is on the right, but okay. So we do have a few different things. We have like a beach cafe, weird place to give a speech. This looks like a meeting room or something, or like a classroom. Oh, this looks like one of these. I think I've never seen one of these, honestly. I've never been in one of these, but these are more like university kind of classrooms, I think. And this looks more like a boardroom meeting, so you can choose whatever you want. Let's go to the boardroom meeting. Why not, right? So we go over here and place a thingy. Boom. And then we go inside. There we go. And now, here comes the quote-unquote interesting part. There we go. Welcome to Virtual Presenter Pro. At the beginning of this event, you will given a list of 3 topics from which to choose. You then are encouraged to spend between 90 seconds and 2 minutes planning your speech, including an introduction, 3 main points, and the conclusion. When you feel ready, please press the trigger button once more and begin. The event generally lasts 7 minutes with 30 seconds grace period, but you may choose to speak as long or short as you like. Okay, so as you can see, there's people. They're already talking. They're waiting for you to start. This is when the anxiety sets in, right? So let's press. And there are topics: the Dalai Lama, golf, or there's also a quote: govern a great nation as you would cook a small fish. Do not overdo it. What do we want to speak about? I have to be honest, none of these is a topic that I personally think is interesting to me. We'll just choose golf. Why not? Golf is a very generic topic. Okay, we'll do just a short speech right now. Okay, here we go. If I press again, this will go away and our speech will start. There we go. Everybody quiet, please. Thank you. Welcome, everybody, to this little boardroom meeting about golfing. I thank you, everybody, for coming. And today we're going to talk about golfing, the sport of golfing, why it is absolutely boring and why it should get ridden off. Okay, so point number one. I don't understand the scoring. Why do you count up the scoring, but the lowest score wins? Why don't you award points at the amount of strokes you took? If you took 1 stroke, you get 10 points. And if you take 2 strokes, you get 5 points, for example. Why don't you do it like that? Then we could all have a normal, uniform scoring system. But no, we don't, which is annoying. So, point 2, golfing courses take away a lot of spaces. That is rubbish, of course. You know, we could use these spaces for much more. This girl is looking like she's on drugs. Alright, so yeah. Golf courses take away so many spaces. It is outrageous. We could use these for much better purposes like farmland or for example, nature reserves where everybody can go and enjoy the nature and not just people in fancy pants. And my final point, golfing is just a boring sport to watch. Seriously, I've never seen a more duller sport watching than golfing. Seriously. Why don't you watch people lob a ball somewhere half a mile across the course? You don't even see the freaking hole from where you started. Why do we do that? I don't understand. So, in conclusion, I would say golf is not only stupid, boring, and an environmental disaster, it is also just silly looking. So yeah, that was my speech. Thank you very much for coming. This was the most important boardroom meeting we ever had. And you're all dismissed. Thank you. Look at them. They look so stupid. Yay! Great presentation. Thank you. That was nothing. It was my pleasure to educate you. Are you okay, dude? I'm over here. What are you doing? He's spacing out. She's definitely on drugs. You don't know where your hands are. You are all facing through the table. You have a giraffe neck. Yeah. There we go. Now, this is where I personally had problems with, and I don't know what the problem is here. The speech analytics, because that is what I think is the core of this thing. This would be so interesting to know, but for some reason, it does not record my words. I don't know what I need to do here. Honestly, I will look a little bit more into this, but you will see filler words. That would be interesting to know. What is a filler word? You know, what does it count as a filler word? The length of the speech, it doesn't record that for some reason. The word count, it doesn't. The words per minute. Filler word use rate. I mean, I would love to know this. Then the time spent looking, that's interesting. You know, because you're supposed to look everywhere. That's, for example, I apparently always look in the middle, then a little bit to the left, and almost never to the right for some reason. So that is interesting information. I love stats like that. But it usually takes me more than 3 weeks to prepare a good impromptu speech. Very nice. Mark Twain is always a funny man. All right. But yeah, that is a weird thing, why that doesn't really work. Let's check out some other environments. You know what, I actually, when I tested this, I checked out this one, which, that's kind of interesting. That looks like a press conference almost. Let's go to the cafe. I've never given a speech at a cafe, I have to be honest. But yeah, there we go, that's the same thing again. Okay, apparently This could be like maybe you're, I don't know, on vacation with a group of people, and then at the end of the vacation you give like a nice little thank you to everybody. Topics: Leo Tolstoy. Oh god, I don't even know who that. Well, I know the name, but I don't know who that is. How to prepare your favorite meal. Good food ends with good talk. Geoffrey Neer. Okay. How to prepare your favorite meal. My favorite meal. What is my favorite meal? It's freaking pizza. I don't know. That is so easy to prepare. But yeah, I would really like to know if I just. I mean, the game obviously cannot analyze what kind of words I use. If I actually talk about the topic, I can just not talk about the game, and they wouldn't even realize. But still, I think this is an interesting software. If I would get this to work, I might use this essentially to talk and to try to find out certain things. But I would need to know how it works. For example, how does it define filler words? Is it the this kind of stuff? Or what are filler words? What does it consider? And does it work if I do this in German? Because when I work in my workplace, I sometimes have to do like lectures to my clients, or to our clients, to our company's clients, about the software that we sold to them. I basically educate them how to use them, and I do that in German. So it would be kind of interesting to almost use this as kind of like a test platform for these speeches. But then I would need to know, does this work in German? Wenn ich jetzt Deutsch spreche, this kind of stuff. If I speak German, does this recognize the words still? Or does it have problems with that? But right now, I have a kind of a problem to even get it to recognize the words. But again, I will look into that. Maybe I've done something wrong. I'm trying to look everywhere, essentially. It's also interesting here, I don't have a timer. In the other settings, at least the other tools that I tried, you have a timer, so you can kind of time your speech. So that is quite interesting. There's kind of different environments, and I like that. But yeah, obviously, I have the feeling that there can be a little bit more done with this program. There's a little bit of improvement quality. You know what I mean? For example, what I think would be cool is that these 3 topics that it shows you, it would be kind of cool if you could customize this thing to choose from topics that you choose. Not only could you then, for example, if you have let's say you have a big speech you need to give for school about a huge topic, and then you enter like your subtopics that you're going to go through of this speech as these categories, and then it would choose a random one of these, and then you just do that, and you test it out. That would be kind of interesting. Or you could even turn this into some sort of party game where you just put in absurd topics, and then somebody has to choose an absurd topic and give a weird speech about it. That would be kind of funny too. But, I think this has potential. It just doesn't seem to be that polished yet. Thank you. That was my speech. Yes. He's like, yes, good job. Good job. Can I actually walk around? No, I cannot. Oh, that's... Yes. Jazz hands. Jazz hands. Yeah. Again, I really don't know why that... See, now even the filler words uses not a number. And now interesting. Now I looked almost exclusively in the middle, but still more left than right. This seems to be a tick that I have, that I don't look to the right that much, which is interesting. But yeah, again, I think this could be an interesting piece of software. I really do. But there seems to be a few things that are not that clear, and that could be improved. I mean, you could easily improve on this by adding more different scenarios. I mean, if you wanted to be really, really like creative, you could add a scenario where there's people in the crowd that actually cause distractions. suddenly somebody sneezes or somebody coughs, because things like that can actually throw you off your concentration. So it would be interesting to have things like that in here to, test you a little bit, to give you a little bit a run for your money, Actually, let's just for the end, let's just put that in here and see how that looks. There we go. So yeah, what can I say? I mean, Katrin, good one. Katharine Hepburn, chemistry. True happiness is born of self-reliance, the laws of Manu. Well, all, again, topics that I don't really know anything about. But as you can see, this equation is absolute crap. E equals mc squared. Well, that is right, obviously. It would be so funny if you could just take the chalk and chuck it into the... Oh, whoops, I clicked again. Whoopsie. No, sorry. But yeah, I think this is an interesting piece of software. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. If somebody maybe knows what I'm doing wrong, just let me know in the comments. I might do another video on that if it actually works and test it out a bit more. Right now it's on sale. I mean, if you're interested in something like that, I know, again, it is a bit different from what we normally do. But I do want to, not only take a look at games and fun, silly stuff. I also want to look at other, places where VR can be used. And if this can help you, get away, or not completely get rid of, but at least help to alleviate your anxiety while speaking, then this is already an interesting and a good project, right? So, yeah, again, bit of potential that to improve this one. I think there can be a lot done with this concept. But it's a start, Sometimes you just have to start somewhere. I mean, the graphics are not killer, obviously, but that's not what it is about. Although, one who does have to say, especially the boardroom meeting there, it was very, very, very distracting. Some of these people really look like they're stoned. Which is kind of funny, to be honest. But, actually, let me just throw this scene in. Just so you have seen all the different places where you can give speeches. There we go. Yeah, this looks like a little press conference, right? Oh, didn't even saw the topic. Stephen King was one, I think. But yeah, again, you have the clock there. I mean, if you have actually a lot of space in your VR setting, you can even do this walking around thing. You can, that's another thing that I think would be interesting. Gesturing. If it could analyze that, do you just stand like this all the time with your arms to your... Well, it cannot really record your arms, but it can see your hands, Do you always have your hands by your side? Or, do you try to tell people something with your gesturing, with your whole demeanor? That would be an interesting metric to know as well. Also, Jesus, this is creepy. All the people with their freaking fingers. You know what would be annoying if you would actually hear the tapping of the fingers? That would be absolutely infuriating. But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting kind of program, again. But, yeah, I mean, it's a very special interest group, I will admit. So guys... if that is not for you, I'm sorry, this weekend was a little bit special, so next weekend I'm sure we're gonna do some more crazy gaming weird stuff. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. I've been Shadow, this has been Virtual Presenter Pro on VR Sunday, and I see you next time. Take care. I should end all my videos like this. This is like a confidence booster.